Okay, we are at Beautiful Venture. The Harlan Road parking. Up there is the road to the Pinnacle. Let's go look around at some of the stuff that they have right here at the parking lot to begin with. The Thomas Walker Trail here. This trail goes back to the visitor center. No bicycles. 1.1 mile back to the visitor center, I'm suspecting. Hiking the Gap. Let me get this, okay. If it's in view of this right now, I've been there. Okay. Let's see all the placards where we see everything. Over, that's side one. I don't think there's anything on the back side of that one. Same thing as on the front side. Here's the other side of this one. There you go. Okay, it's a 1/10 of a mile longer this way. Here's a little hand carving. A neat carved a buggy with a horse. Object lesson road. It's an interesting thing what they've done here. They were trying to sell to the mass public roads, not just little buffalo trails, but you take the buffalo trail, deer trail, Indian trail, and make it into a road. That way commerce can get to you. General stores in the cities, they needed supplies. You want a new cast iron stove in your kitchen? Well, it's going to have to get there somehow. There's a sign someplace explaining to it about the percentage of grade. This is only a half mile. It's an example. Example to the general public of how the roads could be. It's an example of the American government doing things correct. Look at that nurse tree right there. Let's zoom in a little bit on it. If I can. There we go. I got the zoom set for slow. Nurse tree. That was a fully functioning living tree at one time. And then it became a snag. Then it fell to the ground and became a nurse tree. There is so much wildlife living in that little log. Mice can live in it. I think they got salamanders here. A lot of stuff. This road was built after my family came through. Here's placard, Hobbs. Let's go down in here. Yep. Yes, I've been on the Wilderness Road, the one that Daniel Boone blazed. Following the buffalo. The object lesson had a 5% grade, 12% grade max. That way your horse, oxen, mules can not only get your wagon up the hill, but it can control its descent back down the hills. Out in there somewhere is the original Wilderness Road. The Daniel Boone blaze through the trees. I'm going to use the date 1775. It's easy to figure. 1885, 1995 is 200 years. 250 years ago. It's easy speculating. The math isn't right, but give me a break. That might be the trail right down there. I'm going to tell you, it's not as nice as this. There's nothing but a cat trail. Buffalo, single orders, single formation. Deer, single formation. Indians, single formation. Going from point A to point B. I don't know about this section, but I know there was a section where you come through the gap into Middlesboro. I'm not clear after it comes through the gap where the road actually goes. But they tore a lot of stuff out. Somebody thought it was a good idea to run a road through the gap. Well, back then there's no way you could do it. And then they got smart enough, learned how to drill a tunnel. Put a tunnel through. Two of them, actually, put two tunnels in. One going north, one going south. Angled them so the air naturally gravitates from the lower to the higher, natural ventilation. Like that. Major. That's a major snag that went nurse on us. Good. Don't know how long ago it did it. I don't know. This is the, like I was saying earlier, example trail. This was the modern interstate example for its day. Let me show you something. Let's see if I can zoom into it a little bit. Zoom. Look at this beautiful rock. That tree's basically growing out of the rock. Out and on it and around it. You can see all the cracks and crevices in the rock. There's roots growing in those. That keeps that tree upright. The road to the Pinnacle's right up there. The road to the Pinnacle. Massive rocks. I heard the noise. Little creek. The thing about little creeks like this, may not be much, but you go down the hill ways, it'll connect with another creek, a little creek, it gets a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger, another creek and another creek and another creek. Next thing you know, you end up with Mississippi River. Honest. That water is headed to the Mississippi. It's going to be a while. I think that one goes to the Cumberland River. which ends up at Cumberland Falls State Park, where they have moon bows. Look at this. Look how the water has worked and worked and worked and worked. There's a little creek down here, and it comes down and meets this creek here. So see, it's getting bigger. Where'd that first creek come from? Right there. Came down through there. Massive. East Tennessee, East Kentucky, West Virginia, western end of Virginia. Just full of stuff like this. Now, what you may be looking at here, that may be some cabbage, or maybe skunks, raccoons, possums, stuff like that. Are denned up during cold weather. Okay, we're coming out of the end of the example road. You can tell they've always got a placard, info placard. That means we're just down the trail a bit from the historic gap. You see that sign? The one over there? Well, there's one on this side, the gap. That's how close we are to the gap. I think it's basically the same thing as down there, but maybe not. Which we were down here. Yeah, see, I thought we was down in this section. I thought we was right there. We're going right here. Because we're right here. We're going to go right here. We're about to step on the historic Wilderness Road that Daniel Boone did. I'm looking up the hillside trying to see it. To my right. There's some historical markers up here too on the Wilderness Road. Actually, I'm sorry, I said the wrong things. This is where the Wilderness Road, we interconnect with the Wilderness Road from the object lesson. The gap is up the trail a little bit more. Tri-State, go to Tri-State's right up here too. We just came up that one. Here's another post. I like these carved posts. Same thing, a little car. Object lesson road. Let's go over here. Have a look-see. This is a historical rock, just so you know. Indian Rock, Daniel Boone's Trail from North Carolina to Kentucky, 1775. I got the date right. Marked by the St. Aspen's chapter of the Kentucky Daughters of the American Revolution, 1915. The American Daughters of the American Revolution. There you go. Daniel Boone walked here. Indians walked here. Buffalo walked here. Deer walked here. Bear walked here. I've walked here. This is the road the Wilsons went in to Kentucky from. The object lesson trail was not here. This was. Beautiful. So let's go on up to the gap. Ooh, look at this. I see on the trail. Historic slip and slide. Some of this, again, I don't remember all of it, all my history I've seen, so I can't say blah, blah, blah exactly. I don't know exactly where the road went through, where it went through the gap going north into Kentucky to Middlesboro. I don't remember how that road went. By the pictures to know where I'm at exactly. Look at this. That's a raised area there. If that's flat enough, there could have been a home site up there. But the Park Service did the very best they could with pictures and surveys and text of how this looked before they put the road in. So when they put the tunnels in, they restored this back the best they could. And that's a little manway up through there. You can see it. Well, the ladies can hide behind that tree in this embankment. That tells you everything. There's a couple in front of us with a dog. They're going up the trail to Fort McCook. So that means we're real close to the gap. There's no real breeze down here. As adventurous as some Americans were, Daniel Boone, David Crockett, people like that, and many homesteaders that wanted a better life, a different life that moved west. They were happy with the way the roads were. Okay. From Fort McCook, we could have came down here. This is the trail from Fort McCook. This is the road we're coming up. Wilderness Road. Harlan Road Trail. Pinnacle Overlook. I've done this trail. I think I came down it to the gap and back up. Or I went up it and came back to the gap. I think I parked down here at the iron furnace. Right up there is a trail to Tri Point. Very nice trail. One of the things I want to tell you to do, basically not do, when you're at the visitor center, do not bring up Davy Crockett. This is Daniel Boone country. Hamlin, Jefferson County, Granger County is Davy Crockett country. Okay. The Cumberland trailhead, is that tri-state. I've been down the Cumberland Trail till I was above the Cumberland Gap tunnels. That was nice. And I moved on. There's a fort up there, Farragut Fort, and a fort in this area isn't like you see with John Wayne with all the logs and stuff. A fort, Civil War fort up here, is a clearing with maybe a cannon or just a group of guys that are going to keep an eye out on the enemy. Let's go up here. See this. This is a historical marker, so let's just go up the trail a little bit. I sometimes see deer here, and the first time I seen deer, I came up here to look at this. There are deer right down there. You can kind of see a loggy thing right there. That's where the deer were. This is the Daniel Boone Trail from North Carolina to Kentucky, 1769. This is a marker. Any of the pictures you see about the Pinnacle, Pinnacle's right up there. The Pinnacle is right up there. Let's see. Let's zoom in a bit. You can actually see the Pinnacle from here. You can actually see, you can't quite see this, but the Pinnacle. Let me see. Okay. Yeah, there it is. Get my finger right there. See like that little wedgy thing right at the bottom of the wedge to the right? That's the Pinnacle. So if there's somebody looking this way, I can wave hi to them. Ain't that something? Okay. Let's zoom back in. Back out like it's supposed to be. Okay, that's the trail we came up to here. There are 2 Civil War forts on the way up the trail before you get up to Tri Point. very good. I got some people down here. How you doing?
How are you?
Great day to be out here. As we come back from the historical marker on Tri Point, look what's right across the trail. That trail, before I get to the marker, goes all the way into Virginia. You can follow it clear through the Wilderness Park, State Park. It goes all the way. I don't think it goes through White Cliffs and the Sand Cave below it, but I think it goes real close. And you can take a right down there a ways, and it takes you to the iron furnace at Cumberland Gap, Tennessee. This is the historic Cumberland Gap. This is, see this? You're coming uphill. Here's the gap. And you go downhill. This is the gap in the mountain range to get from one side, to get from Virginia, Tennessee to Kentucky. My family's been here, so have I. And now, so have you by video.